Okay, hello again folks, this is my Japanese location test mod for Oni. I'm King Blacktooth. So, to begin with, his red focus looks like that. So not red in the slightest, but he gets a massive aura which lets you know it's happening, rather than the normal focus attack, which is like that. And it's the same as before, it's got two levels. Level 1 doesn't crumple, and the maximum level, which is level 2, does. And the move comes out slightly faster as always. And it takes 2 meter bars and can absorb 12 hits, or if you FADC into it, it takes all 4 meter bars and can only absorb 6 hits. So the first thing for Oni is his Shoryukens are now FADCable on the first hit. Okay, on hit or on block. And that's all variations of his Shoryuken. And on block, the same thing is doable, like so. Okay, now on block, there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with it, but on hit, because the move is a triple hitting move like that, the first hit isn't programmed to launch him very high in the air. So because it launches so low, you can't combo out of it into anything else. Now I did contemplate changing that, making him launch a bit higher, and that'd be really easy to do, but it never specified that, and I'm not sure if that's what they intended, because you are sort of, I assume, waking up with a Shoryuken FADC in it to make it safe. Maybe they didn't want Oni to have such a uppercut FADC ultra kind of deal, or maybe they didn't want it to be that safe, because he's got a pretty good mix up, I think, with that move and Shoryukens anyway, and I don't know, quite high combo ability and stuff like that. From a non-Oni player, that's how I see him anyway. So maybe they didn't want to give him that, but it's based on your guys' feedback on that point, really. I can easily change it if you guys think it should be combo outable, so you can do something if you do that on hit. I believe when you could FADC the second hit on hit, that it was probably comboable, so maybe the first hit should be comboable as well. Okay, the next thing is Ultra 2 is now a double half circle back motion. I'm not going to bother showing it, but it's in there. And after that, forward medium kick is now 11 frames startup. Now frame data is always not guaranteed, because it's not as simple as just typing in, you know, I want the startup to be 11 frames, done. There's a lot of other things you have to sort of take into account when you're doing it. But after, you know, my little bit of testing, and I try and test as much as possible, but it's only, I try and release it fast though as well. I don't want to be doing it forever and ever. So hopefully you guys can test that. I think it is 11 frames, so hopefully so. And in the same vein, crouching heavy kick, 8 frames start up and 20 frames recovery. Okay, so that's from 9 frames start up and 24 frames. So it looks pretty fast to me, so it looks pretty good. I don't know if you can combo into it from anything now. I'm not an Oni player, but, you know, whatever. Okay, Heavy Punch Shoryuken, reduced invincibility frames. Well, about 4 or 5, I think it was. I did reduce the invincibility frames by 4 and 5, but this whole particular one was a bit confusing, the translation. And, like, the data didn't seem to align, because it seemed to say it had about 6 or maybe 8 invincibility frames to projectiles. But when I had a look, it seemed to really easily get through projectiles. And after changing the invincibility by about 5 frames downwards, it seemed really still very, very easy to get through projectiles with it. So take that one with a grain of salt. I don't know if that one's working as intended by any means. Okay, the light slash is now 110 damage and 130 stun, being changed from 120 damage and 150 stun, so you got a bit of a nerf on that one. And the next one is, now there's a lot of on block changes here. So heavy kick slash on the front and backwards variation, because you can cross up and you can not cross up. It's -6 on block from -8, so you gain 2 hit advantage there. So you're only on -6 now, which is still punishable really. EX slash is the same sort of thing, -8 instead of -10. Oops. There we go. And the light palm is now -5 on block rather than -7. And the medium palm is -4 rather than -6. but the medium palm has also lost its first invincibility frame. So I took one invincibility frame off the very beginning. So meaty attacks do tend to stuff it now. Okay? Which is something to look out for. Next we have all electric fireballs have -2 recovery. Oh, wrong move. There we go. Nope, that's not right either. There we go. -2 recovery on that. So hopefully you can start blocking a bit faster. Ultra 1. The damage of a non-cinematic Ultra 1 is 375 from 350. Okay. Oh, he's blocking. I was going to say, what the hell's going on? There we go. So it's 375 rather than 350 now on non-cinematic ones. 376. Oh, okay, I'm not going to bother changing that. And I'll probably change it post-video, I mean. And there's also 9 frames startup, down from 11. So hopefully that comes out a little bit faster as well. And finally, the last one is the Aerial Ultra 1 is 11 frames startup rather than 14. Aerial, I assume, is the jumping one because it makes sense. So the jumping one comes out in 11 frames rather than 14 now. So that's a little bit better. So they're all the Oni changes, and hopefully I'm going to change that damage by 1%, which is really going to be really tricky because it's a multiple hitting move and really annoying. And yeah, so hopefully you can have a practice round with that and tell me if anything's wrong, which I will fix. And keep an eye out for annotations, the fix log, and any updates I do. And thanks for watching, basically. So when you want to install my mod, you need to download the mod in the download link in the video, and then extract the file. You'll have your character name changes, so a nice readme to let you know what I've changed and how I changed it, and installation instructions if you don't want to listen to me. And you'll have a character name.bac and character name.bcm. So the next thing you need to do is find your Capcom directory, because your Super Street Fighter 4 files will be in there. Mine's in the C drive in program files, but if you bought it on Steam, it'll probably be in your Steam directory somewhere. So you go in to Super Street Fighter 4. Now you've got some patch 1.07 and patch 1.06. You need to find the one with your most up-to-date character. For example, if we were doing Sagat, his most up-to-date one would be in 1.07, as well as Ryu, Yuri, Dudley, DJ and Cody. But most characters are in 1.06. The character I'm doing is in there, and most characters are. I'll mention it if it's in 1.07. So you go in, and then you go into Battle, Regulation, Latest AE, and then you find the character we're doing. I'm doing Bison, which has got the name Vega at the moment. And so you'll have the character name.bac, character name.bcm, and all you need to do is, I recommend making a backup and copying those files in and rename them original, just so you got them as backup. And then you just copy over my ones into there, and that will allow you to play as my modded version in arcade mode, training mode and versus mode. So you can have some fun. If you've got local friends to play with, you could update 2 characters that I do and then fight against each other with the new changes. That would be quite interesting. Anyway, so thanks for watching, and I hope that has helped.